Naruto is kidnapped by Orochimaru. Part 2. Last time we left off on Naruto um, talking to Tenten. They were basically just talking, and it's 2 days later, and they've already given their message to the Sun Village, and they're almost at the leaf when they get a message from Kakashi telling them that they need help on their mission, and their mission became an S rank, and basically debriefing them on what happened. And they get there, and Kakashi goes and teaches them tree walking. But Naruto, he already knows tree walking and water walking, so he just goes training more on the Hyuga style, the gentle fist. And then Neji, he's finished, and they training together. And Neji, he decides that he should teach Naruto the H-Dragon 64 palms, and Naruto tells him how he can already do 148. And this surprises Neji because he can't even do more than 70 palms. And Neji decides to teach him the H-Dragon's rotation palm jutsu that he created. And Naruto, he thinks this will come in useful at some point. So he does this and he learns it. Then, well, he doesn't master it. He learns it barely, and he eventually goes and comes back, and they're having dinner. Then Naruto, he talking at dinner until he's talking to Neji and his team, and basically ignoring Sakura. And the kid comes down, Thousand, his grandson comes down, and he's talking about how they're gonna die, and Naruto, and how they think they're heroes but they're not, and they're just gonna die at the end of the day like his father did, and how they think they're heroes but they're just losers. And this makes Naruto mad. Naruto, he go off. I'm not gonna tell you what he says specifically because this is a family-friendly channel, and you know Naruto, he went off. So Naruto, he leaves, and Neji, no, not Neji or Tenten, guy follows him, and till he couldn't find him anymore, he couldn't trace him anymore, and basically what Naruto's doing, he's training on the H-Dragon's rotation jutsu, and he's basically mastered it by the time he passes out and meets Haku, and him and Haku are training, well, they're not training, they're talking, and they talk about how if you have a loved one, you be stronger. And Naruto, he basically is talking to Haku longer than he did in canon, and they're hanging out actually, and they decide to go out to the village through a wave, and they end up eating together, because we're gonna say Naruto, he didn't get to finish his food, so they end up eating together. So Naruto, he goes back to the house, he goes to sleep, and we go to the next day. He gets woken up by a screaming lady, and he sees these people talking about how they're gonna kill her son and kill her, and how they're gonna kill everybody they love. And Naruto, he pulls up with his Byakugan, using his Byakugan, and he has the H-Dragon. He's using the gentle fist right now, and he punches one in the stomach, and it makes them pass out automatically. And then he yells Wind Style Wind Bully Jutsu, and the bullet goes right through the dude's head. and this kills him. Then Naruto, he rushes back to the bridge. He sees Neji and Sasuke in the ice mirrors. You might be thinking, how would Neji be able to really get hurt by Haku, even though he has the 8 trigrams rotation pound jutsu? Well, he doesn't have infinite chakra like Naruto. Well, Naruto doesn't have infinite chakra, but he has a lot. He doesn't have that much chakra like Naruto does. So, Neji, he passes out because he doesn't have any more chakra to protect Sasuke and him anymore. Then he goes in, he tries to help Sasuke until it comes to the point where Naruto gets pinned down by his feet down to the ground and can't do the rotation bomb because he's pinned down to the ground. His hands, he can't really use them. So, before Haku can kill Naruto, Sasuke jumps in front of him and takes the Senbon. And this makes Naruto mad, and he goes into a one-tail state. And this is when Haku knew he messed up. And Naruto, he breaks the ice. He charges at Haku. He jumps off the wall and punches Haku in the face. And this breaks the mask. And before Naruto realizes who it is, he stabs Haku through the chest with his sword. And he starts crying, and he asks Haku how could he do this. And Haku explains how that was in his one. And Naruto says he didn't want this to end like this, and how he wanted to stay with him forever and be friends forever. So Naruto, he hears we can say Kakashi already stabs Naruto through the chest with his lightning blade. And we see Gato thanking them for killing them because they were only his tools in his game. And he hears this, and Naruto, he goes off because he knows that he's talking about his friend. And he goes in with the sword, cutting off all their heads. And he finally gets to Gato. And Gato, to him, this looked like a flash, and then he saw Naruto in front of him, and right behind Naruto was all his men's heads falling off. And we're gonna say there's a shinobi there, not from the leaf, from the sand. Cause I'm pretty sure the sand is the one that makes the bingo book. And they write down Naruto as the hidden Hyuga, and he's getting wrote down in the bingo books as the hidden Hyuga. If he's a S rank named Kekkei Byakugan Jinchuriki Kenjutsu user, chakra nature's unknown, jutsu's unknown, S rank nin, and run if you see him. And then Naruto, he's right in front of Tazuna, and he puts Tazuna down. He pushes him down and steps on his head, and he basically crushes Tazuna's head with his shoe. Basically running chakra through his feet and crushing his head. And they go back to the leaf, and Naruto, he does not say nothing until they get there. And they basically get told by Guy Sensei that they have tuning exams to look forward to. And Naruto, he starts training harder and harder because he's trying to learn more in taijutsu because he realizes that he hasn't been raising his weights in a while, and he raises them like at least 100 or so. Is this 100 times more heavier? So Naruto, he put on weights around his neck. His clothes are weighted, and well, his shirt's weighted, and he has weights around his wrist and weights around his ankle. So he basically got those in their time 100 times heavier than they were before. So Naruto, he's been training on this for the past 3 weeks, and he's really, really fast with these on. But with them off, it's like he's faster than we. And he is one of the fastest people in Naruto right now. And he's been learning. I don't know if it was this one that I said he has explosion style in this, but or was it the Uzumaki one? But we're gonna say in both now he has explosion release. No, I don't actually want him to use explosion release right now anyway. So they start the first part of the Chunin exam, and Naruto he passes with ease because he used to be taught under Orochimaru, and Orochimaru is one of the smartest dudes in Naruto in my opinion. So Naruto, he basically is passing faster than Manito, so he has first place. So he's just waiting for all the other kids, and he's asleep right now. And then he hears a brick fly through the window, and Uncle's telling them how they need to rush over to the Forest of Death to get ready for the second part of the tuning exams. And they rush over there. Naruto, he gets there first, waiting, and he tells Uncle that they shouldn't call it the Forest of Death. They should call it the Forest of Unicorns, because this place isn't scary at all. And Uncle tries to throw a kunai at him, and Naruto, he dodges this with ease, and he crushes it. Well, he doesn't crush it. He cracks it, because because Naruto, he's been working on his strength way more, and we're gonna say with fusing, he's been fusing chakra through his hands, and Naruto, he crushes the kunai like that. It kind of scares Uncle because who's able to break a kunai completely? That's strange, bro. You need to go to the hospital. So Naruto, he's chilling, and then everybody else shows up, and they go into the forest. Team guy has their Earth Scroll, and they go past a team, ironically, with a Heaven Scroll. Naruto, he just basically knocks them all out really quick before they can even say a word. And oh god. And he ironically runs past the Team 7 right before Sakura cuts off her hair, and he punches the girl in the face and knocks her out and tells Sakura that he likes her hair how it is. And this makes Sakura blush because no sus stuff, but Naruto, he looked pretty good, so no gay stuff. I'm not gay, okay? So they end up beating the rest of their team, the Shining team, and they give Team 7 a scroll that they picked up, because Team 7 has the Heaven Scroll, and they give them an Earth Scroll. So Naruto and Team 7 end up making it to the tower, and they open the scrolls, and it's Kakashi guy, and they get sent to the preliminary rounds because there's too many kids, and the preliminary rounds are basically the same except for Naruto, when he um stops Neji from killing Hinata, he actually this actually confuses Neji because he thought him and Naruto were friends for now, and Naruto explains to Neji how Guy would think, what would God think about Neji killing his own cousin over something that wasn't her fault, over who she was born by. And Neji, see, he understands this, so he doesn't really have that much of a hatred for Hinata. And Naruto, he's surprised that he was able to change Neji like that easily. And if you want to know what happened to him and Kiba's fight, he knocked out Kiba in one hit. It wasn't that interesting. And the same thing happens with Hinata's father and Neji with the letter from his dad. And Ino and Sokka's fight went the same. But in this, Tenten won against Tamari, and she was able to beat her because she's way stronger in this. So Naruto and the rest of the matches go the same. So they get a month for the preliminaries. The final round. And Naruto, he has the snake summoning already. If I didn't say that, I'm sorry. But he already has the snake summoning. And he's walking by hot springs, and he sees Jiraiya peeking into the girl's side, giggling and writing down in his notebook. And he punches Jiraiya and asks him, what is he doing? And he explains to Naruto how what he doing and how he's a super perv. And Naruto, he starts calling him pervy face because he knows who this is, but he doesn't care. And then Jiraiya asks, does Naruto want him to teach him? And he tells Naruto how he wants to teach him the summoning jutsu. And Naruto tells him how he already has the snake summoning. And this confuses Jiraiya because that's the only person who has that is Orochimaru. And then Naruto tells him the story, and Jiraiya feels bad for him and how he should have been there for him that whole time, but he wasn't. And then we get to them training, and he decides he would train Naruto in the Rasengan because he didn't really have anything else to do. And then this takes 2 weeks for Naruto to do it in one hand, fully master it. And then Naruto, he thinks of a way to combine this with his Hyuga style. And he basically figured out a jutsu with the Rasengan. Like, it's called the 4-finger Rasengan jutsu. The Hyuga style 4-finger Rasengan. And he basically puts mini Rasengan on his first four fingers, and he pushes it into somebody, and it will automatically spread through their body and close every single chakra nature and every single chakra point, not nature. Oh god. Well, it's not. Never mind. Not the 4-finger Rasengan. The 1-finger Rasengan. The Hyuga style 1-finger Rasengan. He basically slams the Rasengan in somebody's stomach, and it will spread through their body equally and shut down every single chakra point. And then they go into the final rounds. We're gonna say Naruto for the rest of the month. The rest of the month, he was training on taijutsu more. So Naruto and Guy have been training together. Naruto, he's heard of the 8 gates, and Guy decided that he would teach Naruto them sometime later. But Naruto, he hasn't learned them yet. So he starts the tuning exams with Neji in the first They're the first fight, and Neji tells him, "Oh, Hyuga style. How about that?" And we'll see who's the stronger Hyuga. And Naruto, he agrees to these terms, and they start the fight. But that's where I'm gonna leave you off. So make sure to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss when I upload another video.